none of them were gaming with anybody else. They were just in their own little groups of 3 or 4 or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
and it's like, how do you see that as a, like, it's hard for me to say, oh yeah, that was better. Because that's, you know, do you just want people here? It's a, by the same token, I mean, just a couple weeks ago we had 10 people all in one game at one time.
Yeah.
And then a couple weeks later it was 10 people. Well, no, it was saying that was Space Engineers.
Really?
Yeah, and then right after that we had 10 people in Valheim. It's, but not all those 10 people were the same 10 people. And if you got people who feel that, well, this is for the so-and-so game, when they get tired of that game, they leave, don't want to come back. And
Yeah.
it's interesting because, like, a lot of it is just dynamics that, like, I always wonder, kind of like Jeff, I mean, he found us because he was looking for something.
Yeah.
It wasn't exactly what he wanted, so he felt he had to leave. Like, no one here said that to you. And there's plenty of other people that have played the same game he's currently playing now.
Right.
And 2 of the guys have been looking for people to play the game with.
Well, do you have a server that's set up for that, or?
There is no dedicated server for,
Oh,
for
it's going to be.
yeah, it's peer-to-peer hosted. As soon as it's a dedicated server client is available, we'll have one. But we've done a dedicated PC to host the game.
Okay.
But the problem with, again, it's the problem or limitation with, their game design. You get all kinds of lag, or the map doesn't show up if the game host hasn't been to an area. And it's not built to be a network game. It's a peer-to-peer. So it has all of its own issues. And
There's plenty of them, that's for sure. I mean, it was just the other day when I was playing with them, it was like, wow, it's just, it's just too twitchy to me. But I think Jeff's happy with it because he gets to be the host, and I think it's, as the host, he probably has the least amount of other issues, compared with John and I joining his game.
yeah, see, and that's kind of the opposite of my thought on these things, because like Viking, very nice guy. We have one game. We had the devs look at it. We talked to Viking and said, dude, we just can't play with you. We can't have you on the server because the PC he was using at the time, this was a year ago, had all kinds of performance issues and his network connection. And I was like, dude, we can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's no offense to you or him. It was just, the game wasn't built for it, and we have to realistically ask ourselves a question: are we all stopping to play this game because Viking's computer can't handle it? And the answer was, well, that's not going to work. So we told him, get the fuck out. I mean, but we did it in a nice way. It was just,
way, yeah.
yeah.
But dude, there's an issue, and it's you, or not you, but it's your equipment, and
Yep, it's the same thing that got him kicked out of that whorehouse. But
it's not you, it's your equipment.
no buku. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You heard about why the midget got kicked out of the whorehouse, right?
No way.
Because kept sticking his nose in everybody's business.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
But did you hear about why the giant got kicked out? Because he kept sticking his business in everybody's nose. Oh, damn. One more. There wasn't
I got a million of them. I told them all at my retirement party to make sure they wouldn't call me back.
Yep.
All right. So I got to do some ciphering up top. What is the size of the arms on this tower? Because that determines how far over I got to go. Okay, 1, 2. The rotor's 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 13, 14, 15. So I gotta be at least 30. And I want it to be 40. I certainly don't want them to look like they're touching. So I've got 5, 10, 15. That puts me 15, 20. I'm just now free of the arms. 25, 30. I gotta go 10 more. See, I've just gone 30 blocks underground here with a tunnel. While we're standing here, it's not that hard to do. It's way easier if you're not collecting the ore.
Yeah.
But to me, like, I see that as like, you know, that's a shame. You know, whereas like, you know, like a Scotty sort of response would be, fuck them. You know. And it's humorous to me on all levels because, like, there's a guy who, there's like 6 guys who are in this little group that I've gamed with. And the moment that I wasn't playing the main game that they play, decided, hey, dude, we don't want you around at all anymore. It's like, okay. I mean, I told you that the game that I was looking at, I only play casually.
Energy low.
But they wanted to play it hardcore all the time. You know, and their answer was, yeah, but this is what we play. And it's like, okay. I mean, I always love my bowling analogies, you know. If we were on a bowling league together, and I stopped by every once in a while just to chit-chat, whatever, and if somebody said, hey, we have a vacancy on our team, can you fill in? And I said, yeah, sure. You know, the league captain wouldn't tell me, hey, dude, you don't play every day, you get the fuck out of here.
Right.
You know, because I'm a fill-in when somebody needs me. You know, I was on the team last year, but because of politics or work or job, whatever, I got other shit to do. You know, but, you know, your game persona attitude is, you're not playing our game with us anymore, so get out. And it's always been humorous to me.
Yeah.
Because I've never failed to understand that. All right, so I can start building the tower. But I mean, you see it in everything. You could see it in people that play, you know, that are on sports teams or.
You got injured. Yep. Okay, we're all going to stop talking to you now.
Well, and the problem is, it's not that bad the first day, but there are places that certainly make it feel that way for people, you know, after a period of time where they're like, you know, they don't send the guy the emails for where the tickets or the party or the event is, or, you know, and then you talk to somebody about it and they go, yeah, I don't hear from them anymore. You know. You know, actually, it's the same as the thing we were talking about a while ago when I talked about the robotics club. You know, we wanted to do a nice party, and I wanted to invite everyone that ever made a donation.
Yeah.
You know, and then you get these other people who are like, well, we're not doing that. They're not part of the team. Like, yeah, they are. They're the people that make the team possible. Well, they won't want to come to the event. Well, that's not your choice to say. And this has nothing to do with whether they will come to the event or not. This has to do with inviting them to the event. And you better have an event that's prepared to invite them. You know, and then you get somebody who goes, oh, it's that same nonsense where, you know, people take my money and they send me a t-shirt and a flyer for the rest of my life to buy more, to donate more money, when I wonder if any of my money went to a common good. And I said, that's correct. That's exactly not what we're talking about. We're talking about a much smaller affair that's much more managed and simple. You know, and again, we have a focus, and the focus is we want to thank, you know, the people, and you know, and then somebody, then they said some wise ass comment about, well, when we win the big trophy, we'll have a trophy game and invite them. And I'm like, that's not the point. We love them whether we win or not. You know. But
they made this possible.
Yeah.
You know?
And again, this isn't just about winning or losing. It's about making it possible. You know, because it's the journey.
Yeah.
You know, and they want to give you crap about blah, 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 this, that. It's like, whatever.
We're not going to agree on this, so...
Yeah, just tell me what the minimum is to be involved with you people. You know, oh, you just want $20 a parent? Here, here's your $20. You know. And here's the other thing, and this is where, you know, you're in a stranglehold as the parent. On Facebook, on the Ham Radio Operators group, somebody posted a photo today or the other day, of an SUV called like Alabama Storm Watchers or something. And they have a whole bunch of ham radio gear on their vehicle. They're out watching storms and broadcasting about it. And, you know, a couple people made the response of, hey, you spot the person that's overcompensating here, boy. And then you had a few, you know, a couple responses that were, you know, and one of them I like because I thought it was pretty funny. It was the, so I guess this guy's kid gets beat up and made fun of on this, or it's made fun of at school every day for how the dad's got this car decked out. Because it had, you know, the volunteer lights on it. And instead of just one light, it was the giant roll bar going across the front. You know, and the car had to have, you know, 4 different antennas on it. And it was just like, dude, you're carried away here. You know. And it had a big label that went across the 2 doors on the side of the SUV. And, you know, it was like every way to be obnoxious. And when you go to their website, it's even more obnoxious. You know, like, you know, we're in accordance with Alabama law. We're doing this, we're doing that. You know, we do weather chasing because, you know, the meteorologist can only see what's going on to a certain, you know, certain altitude up. We can tell you what's going on in the ground. And, you know, a low draft on a storm could mean the difference between a localized hurricane or a tornado or, you know, or Godzilla, whatever the hell they're tracking for. But the point is, it doesn't matter. You're a little over the top here, pal. You know, and that's what you need to drive around in every day. Like, But you know what? Here's the other argument. Hey, to each his own. They're doing their own thing. You know. But I did think it was humorous that their comment was, and we also have safety lights in accordance with state law. Okay, well, if you have to put on your website that you have, that your vehicles have safety lights in accordance with state law, then that tells me that people are bugging you about it, asking you, hey man, you're not a cop, you're not an ambulance, you're not a fire truck. You know, why do you need that big bar on the back? Oh, well, we're volunteer emergency responders that do storm tracking, and under state law, we're allowed to wear that on our vehicle. And it's like, okay, do you need to have a giant roll bar that goes from driver's window to passenger window across the top? You know, like how, you know, like I just want to ask them, hey, how many lights is too much?
Where do you draw the line?
Yeah,
Where do you draw the line?
yeah, where do you draw the line? You know, I don't care what you're allowed to do. I'm just curious, what do you think is too much? You know, and if your answer is, well, I want to look like a fire truck during a Christmas Day parade, you know, I'm like, okay, I mean, if you want to pay for it, but just be prepared that you might be hurting your image. You know, and then the other thing they put on their website was, and when called upon to, we engage, you know, we assist with traffic control. Okay, how often are you being called upon to put your vehicle in the middle of the road, put your hazards on? You know, I mean, I taught CPR for years. I was on a rescue squads for years. I was licensed as an EMT in 2 different states as I traveled, you know, both here and when I was in the Navy. You know, the times that somebody is ever going to pull you over and go, you, I need to deputize you. Can you stand out here and slow down traffic so no one drives into this class 5 kill storm? You know, don't happen that often.
No, imagine not.
And every time it happens, I remember somebody coming to me going, you know, only if you had a bar, you know, you could have participated in this, but you know, because you didn't have a light bar, people are going to die in this class 5 kill storm, and you know, it's all your fault because your cheap ass wouldn't buy a flashlight for your car. Like, it's just, where am I? I am exactly where I wanted to be. Look at that.
All right.
I know. It's almost like I've done this before.
You got the horseshoe, man. but you've done it plenty of times too.
Well, I mean, you've heard me while I've been sitting here. I've been taking measurements the whole time. You know, I've not been just wildly cutting through the terrain. Water check.
Oh, got water?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Hold on while I take a sip.
Ah, but does your space engineer have water?
There's water and wine, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
mostly water.
Makes you question the miracle turning water into wine then. Maybe add a pack of grape juice.
And a bottle of vodka. Mix the two together. It's close enough.
I think it's Seth MacFarlane did a joke about that where he's got I don't know if you've ever seen it, but he's got God standing there trying to pick up a girl,
Okay.
and he goes, "Hey, look at this!" And he's got this beer bottle poured into a mug, and then he turns around and says, "Hey, and how about that?" You know, and the mug is still floating in the air with the beer bottle floating.
Okay. I've never seen that one. It's a never continuously pouring beer bottle.
Well, the point is that it's the bottle is pouring by itself because he doesn't have to hold it.
Right.
You know, it's Oh, look out below. Yeah, that's gonna hurt if that had hit somebody. Okay, 2 on each side. Yep. Then a rotor. Oh, you know what I should do?
What's that?
I should just frame these up and leave them up here for the welder ship.
Do that?
Because the welder ship.
Finish them off in fast fashion. Up.
So the welders are now swinging around. Or the frame, rather.
Uh-huh.
Because I put all the weight on the rotors. And there was nothing to stop them from swinging. So as I had a weight.
You got no counterweight.
Yep. And now the whole thing is swinging and rotating because now it's picking up speed like a sail. I mean, the whole thing is literally just screaming. You didn't think? See, this is the sort of stuff when you hear someone, you know, like, yeah, we're building a big base. Oh, are you really? Huh, how's that working out for you? You know, like, I mean,
Just how big is it?
yeah.
This one started off kind of small, but it's gathering steam, I'll tell you. And it looks pretty impressive when you stand up on the hillside and look out across at the thing. It's like, man, look at all that stuff.
You know, that shuttle does not look sleek,
Mhm.
but it does seat 4,
Yes, it does.
and it does it better than,
The other one that only seats 3.
yeah. So the sun's coming up, and the radar dish on top of the housing unit
Yeah.
is casting a perfect circle shadow on the solar panels.
Hmm.
It's kind of interesting, you know, that there's like the game doesn't count that as a block, but it, you know, easily could. And
Did you happen to? I looked in the ice container
mhm,
before,
mhm.
and it appears to be empty.
Is it? Let me check.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, is there a glitch here? And
No, I mean
it's
we've been running the shuttle filled itself up on hydrogen.
yeah, but that doesn't hold that much hydrogen, does it? I mean, it's 15. One of the big tanks is 15 million, and the large small grid tank is only 1.5 million, I
Yeah,
think.
it's a lot of hydrogen.
It is, but well, okay. I guess I'll start the miner up and have it go mine some more ice and bring it back for us.
Yeah, if we come out here with the wall welder and carry all this. So the second solar tower is all framed out,
Okay.
and it's framed out with two, with 40 solar panels.
Mm.
Which is just 8 less than the other.
Energy low.
All right. Plus, again, all these hydrogen tanks we've been using, that adds up, you know, little by little.
Yeah.
Also, I think we lost some of the,
Oh, that big chunk of ice that fell out. Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot about that. That was still sitting next to the base the other day when I was over there. But I don't think it was there today. Must have warmed up.
or the beauty of the maintenance cycle, got it.
Clean up demons.
The anti-Pays patrol. Well, I mean, Pays is a good example. You know, there's someone who, you know, again, through malicious actions of everyone here, you know, because clearly that's the only thing it could have been. You know, lost some stuff in the game.
Hasn't been back.
Yeah. And it's like, dude, first off, why is your first thought? And I think that's, I always get irked when people do that. You know, why is your first thought that?
I can just give it back to you.
Well, I mean, you know, like
That
is,
I should just give it back to you.
yeah, that's more that. Well, it's also the, why is your first thought that the game is bugged or broken? You know, and there've been people who've, you know, that's happened to them, and I understand. I mean, it's your game. You get very emotional about it. You know, again, a game that I know I never bring up, Soviet Republic. You know, there was a there
Go
was a
ahead.
Saturday where, you know, I left my desk down here, went upstairs to my wife, and I was like, I gotta go for coffee.
I need to get away.
I gotta get away. You have to drive. You know, just sitting there. And the sad part was her response to me. You know, it's just a fucking game. Shut the fuck up. You know, she just had not a single bit of sympathy for that at all. It was like, you don't understand. All these people, they're gone. It's, you know, and she looked at me and she said something, and I was like, well, can't you just go in and fix it? And I'm like, I mean, I could, but I don't play the game that way. Like, it was an immediate, you know, there was a complete dispensation or dispensing of any sort of, you know, this is upset or anything. It was, and I remember exactly what happened. I had a village that I still have the map where it occurred. I was redoing a stretch of road to add for some road improvements from when the town had that, like, that's, you know, pop city center, you know, residential area. I had, there's a thing that came out in the game that gave me a mod for a football stadium, and the football stadium could support a lot more people than what I had that residential area built for. So I laid out the football stadium, the construction yard, started building it, and I realized, oh wait, I can put more people in here. Let me expand this little area a little bit. So, like, I had to expand the train station. Well, as part of expanding the train station, I needed to, you know, adjust a road, had to do something. That's when a fire broke out.
Oh boy.
Well, the fire wasn't in the city. It was at the transformer that brought power to the city. So the fire trucks, I mean, while the fire was going on, if I had played with space magic or, Soviet, Lenin magic, I could have easily just popped down a road over the new railroad tracks and they could have gotten over here to the power. Like the whole power switch, all that went flawlessly. It was just, it got to a point where there was just a break in the road for, cleaning stuff up, and the fire trucks had to get over to the other side, and and I didn't even think about it at the time. I was like, oh, fire over here at the transformer. No problem. The fire trucks will be here in a minute. Fire trucks responded. The crews were on their way, and they came right towards me. And then they made a turn. I was like, where are they going? Oh my God, no. And that's off they went, I mean,
Was it an AI thing that it didn't go to the right place, or was it just something else?
so I had, as part of the expansion of the city, I had to take a power transformer. It was a power substation from high voltage to low voltage. It was close to where the workers were,
Okay.
and I had to move it further away so that it could provide power to the buildings in a little more efficient manner with all the work that was coming, the new housing that was coming in.
Okay.
So I had to move it. And, the move and everything was all done. It's just, it did not occur to me at the time that, hey, the road that takes fire trucks and stuff out there to the power station to do all the work, yeah, it comes from the construction yard. And instead of being like, picture that you're here within this, little square, and you go over a kilometer to the right, and that's the old power station. Well, now it's 3 kilometers to the right. It's being built by a construction yard that's 10 kilometers to the right, which has no problem getting back and forth to it. But when a fire breaks out, this fire truck had to go a kilometer to the west, and then a kilometer to the north, and then it had to go 5 kilometers to the east before it could come back to the south to then go to the west to get to this thing from the other side. And like, I hopped on the fire truck, I took the ride with it going around. I was like, hey, this ain't gonna, oh, this is not. And the problem with it was, it took out the power transformer for the people that worked there. Well, those people worked at the power plant. So that meant in just 2 shifts, there were going to be no people working at the power plant. And, as soon as the fire got bad enough, it killed the power from that transformer. So now all the resources in there are going to start to go south. And like the cascade of things was just... And I posted about it on the Facebook discussion, and I was like, because there's a thread on the Soviet resources page. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick, because that's not obsessive. So the name of the thread is called Fire, Fire, Fire. Because I'm not obnoxious. Okay? Clang, clang, clang. The alarm is sounded. A fire is broken out. The third for today, and the fifth for this month, and the first in 3 years not to be in a kindergarten.
Not to be in a kindergarten.
And you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. What is this idiot saying? Yeah. Clang, clang, clang. The alarm is sounded. A fire is broken out. The third for today. Wait, wait, wait. What setting do you have this game on that you've had 3 fires today alone? Well, it's the third for this month. What day is it? Oh, it's day 2. Oh my God. Like where?
Whoops.
Also, the first in 3 years not to be at a kindergarten or school. And you're like, whoa, what the hell sort of bad luck are you having? What was your game seed again? You know, so I got a picture on here called Sufficient Firefighter Response. And in the fire, there's this huge blaze going on, and there's
Yeah.
just one truck. It's like, this might be enough.
Hope.
Workers near the fire question if enough resources have responded to the scene. A local comrade educated at our own university has developed a new firefighting technique. So I actually go into the game and get the name of the firefighters on the truck. Fire Captain Russianovich watches as Comrade Ivanovich displays the new firefighting technique. To save fuel, he keeps his truck at station. It's like, wait, what? He kept his truck
Out there.
Oh, no, he never even responded to the fire. And I'm sitting there looking at this map going, my entire gravel pit operation is on fire. You've only dispatched one truck. Like, what are you doing? Like,
No, actually, it didn't even dispatch a truck. The truck never left the station.
yeah. Some question if the firefighting technique of too few workers and too few resources will be effective. However, today we'll decide. And then here's a picture. Comrade Ivanovich employs his new but controversial firefighting technique of getting lost in a pile of coal. So you see, the fire truck is inside a giant pile of coal, nowhere near the fire, doing nothing to put out the fire. It's like, oh my God, where is this game gonna go? So for weeks, I posted these stories over and over again. The fire spreads. And it's like, Captain Ivanovich's new but controversial plan spreads. And I show this picture of this other building on fire. And then I go, a rather large distance. And here's where I submitted a game bug. Across the entire length of the People's Republic of Storstopapistan, XVIII. Comrade Ivanovich is amazed, and Fire Captain Russianovich is in awe. Just the idea. So there's a game bug that occurred that let the fire go from one end of the map, like 100 kilometers to the other end of the map,
Oh,
and rather than calling what was the only other building it could find, like the game had randomly rolled and said, "We're going to set a construction yard on fire." And the game was like, okay, list all the construction yards. Oh, construction yard Niet. Okay, Niet is on fire. Niet is 100 kilometers away. We don't care. So, like, the devs, picked that up and fixed that bug. Now, utilizing the exist improving technique, the fire is quickly handled and efficiently. Head of duty shift fire station storm pump deploys too fast. It deploys so fast the fire is out before we can even see which vehicles deployed. Such fuel wasted. So like even the fire truck, the company that responds with every vehicle and puts out the fire before I can get there to take the screenshot, I still, hey, why did you waste so much fuel? It's so I've gotten a kick out of this, and like I even at one point, promoted, Fire Commander Ivanovich to Fire Captain,
okay.
this, somebody posted on the thing that goes, sounds to me like we're watching the Oscars with your family after all. You got inspired.
Mm,
Um, Yeah, it's been like I have a picture here where it's like fire at the other side of the industrial sector, and you look at this and it's like one fire truck is like trying to go like 10 kilometers. There's like
Yeah.
three fires ablaze. It's just
Hmm.
sitting there like this is gonna kill me. But every time I restarted the map, I kept the settings that level or even harder. You
Hmm.
know, um, like I've got pictures here like here's a coal train at a state here's a passenger train at a station while the station is on fire and the fire trucks can't get there because the train can't unload its people so it won't move, but because it won't move it's blocking the gate and the gate can't open so the fire truck can't get through.
Oh,
It's just
hmm.
it's like
One thing after another.
yeah. And so I've got these um, like I've got people responding. I think someone in the apparatchik needs to be re-educated because things are not going well for you. You know, like um, yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Fire Captain Rosinovich on the scene with three trucks. This fire station was being deployed at least. Like if I would start up the map and play for 30
Yeah.
minutes, there'd be two fires around this one area of the map all the time. So these guys' names got used a lot. So because I went into the truck and actually got their names. That's the
Hmm.
cute thing about Soviet Republic. It gives every person in the game a name.
Hmm.
So, Fire Captain Russianovitz on the scene with three trucks is attempting to put out a fire at Rosneft 01. Currently, the refinery is housing three electrical engines, 18 tanker cars, 1.8 million tons of crude oil, 2.7 million tons of bitumen, and 3.6 million tons of fuel. All that is separating from the fire is a 2x4, some yellow paint, and flashing lights. It's just
Yeah.
like
It's
there,
gotta go.
but like you see this fire. It's just Psst, comrade, hello, Psst, Ministry for Communications, open the gates at Rush Niveto 1. Yet train's there. It's like, dude,
Go back later.
we're trying to pay a call back later. But it's like, so I've rode through this with pausing the game and taking screenshots and having fun with it. But when the fire broke out and took out the yeah, like I just had to walk away.
Yeah.
It's
We
just
need to go get coffee and you need to drive, honey. You need to settle down, dear. What?
but it's oh wait, here I found a picture. Do you want to see?
Yeah.
All right. Let me know if you can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So this fire down here, you
Yeah.
can see it's a brand new power plant feeding into all those housing units.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay, and you can see the dirt road coming down.
The one that's heading off to the bottom of the picture.
Yes. And if
Okay.
you look up to where those power poles are going north, you can see that there's a gap in between them that just happens to be the exact width of the road there,
Hmm.
waiting for the road to be built to come across, and
Hmm.
then a bridge to go over that railroad track.
Hmm.
And over there to the right, you'll see there's the second row of housing, and then there's another large shopping center, and then off screen is a giant stadium. And over here, and then over here, there's a big that tower is a radio station. You can see a big stadium in the background. Like there's just this
Okay.
this right here is 40,000 people living here. This is one of the scenes that I posted where people started to refer to me as a verb. Oh, you're building like Store Papa.
Mhm.
So I never made another city that looked like this. But this was the end of this map. Comrade, how do we get there? 3 kilometers, turn right. 3 kilometers, turn right. Dirt road, 2 kilometers. Like, oh my God, can't we just drive across? No, we can't. And, the answer that at the time, because some people that I played with were like, you could have just clicked on the game and just drew a dirt map instantly and it would have put it right there. And I was like,
Why would I do that?
who are you talking to? Like,
You're not talking to the right guy to do
yeah,
that.
you're not talking. That when that fire occurred, that to me said, there is no touching this area. It's got to survive on its own.
Hmm.
And when it lost power, it lost all those workers. I don't know if you can see it on the north edge of the picture, but there's three clouds of black smoke. That's a refinery.
Oh boy.
So everyone stopped working at the oil refinery. This train over here going down to the like the 7 o'clock position, that's
Okay.
the train going to all the power plants for the entire republic. Like this
Oh.
is a major city of the part of the whole republic, and yeah, it was just gone in a heartbeat.
Hmm.
And it's just like this was on a Saturday. I mean, like it was just that torturous of a day. See, that to me tells me that, what day was that? So that was March 3rd. Wow. No, February 29th.
Hmm.
Yeah, February 29th. So it's been just over a year for something like for that. I had to take a 2 week break from the game. Oh, sorry, my bad. I had to take a 2 week break from the game because I couldn't.
Hmm.
It was just too brutal. So, yeah, I get a kick out of these. So when somebody has something happen in a game and they get all upset, mad, they want to walk away. It's like, dude, I can relate 100%.
Energy low.
Yep.
I know exactly what you're talking about, man. You're not alone here. You know. But every one of those things that I had submitted to the devs as a bug. They worked on it, they fixed it, they did whatever they had to do. You know. But I mean, I never complained to them. Even when they started fixing the bugs, it kind of freaked me out. Because like they were fixing these bugs for things that I had already worked around.
Yeah.
And the like the population of my republic suddenly was like, where I was normally like starving for people and just barely getting by. Like all of a sudden, like the population had exploded because they fixed a pathing problem to get food to the people. And all of a sudden the people were eating twice as much. But based upon
So
what I
it gave you a different problem to deal with. How do I produce enough food?
no, it was the problem was how do I handle all these people who suddenly sprung up out of nowhere?
Hmm.
Because I was used to them dying off a lot quicker. And it's the same thing with this game. I mean, honestly, just look at the conversation we had earlier today. So we need a shuttle to carry 4 people. Nowhere in that even when Scotty came on and he was looking at us, he knew better than to go, you'll never have 4 people in the shuttle. No, but we could have 3.
Hmm. Yeah.
And we had 3 the other day, and we might want to take 3 again to go on a couple of kill missions to make some extra money because we want to buy some ships. What do you want the ships for? To have them. Oh, like he's already gone down that conversation. He knows.
Not to
'Cause-
start it up again.
Well, and he does it himself. It's just different games, different scales.
Hmm.
But, when the shit breaks, it's never.
Hey, do you think Swissen's coming back?
Citizens
Or
will
you-
come back. Whether he will do anything down there or not, I have no idea.
Okay, well, I just wondered if he might, because, I mean, if he comes in, we might have 4 people to go somewhere. You never know.
You know what? That's a really positive thing to say. That is hugely positive.
It could happen.
But the point is, it's still, even with just 3 of us, having 3 people in a seat looks more like a freaking shuttle than.
Yeah.
So an unknown signal just landed 500 meters behind the solar towers. Like talk about just handing it to you. No, I'm sorry. I thought you were gonna like wonder should we use his tunnel or anything, but
Oh, no, no, no. I just wondered if he was coming back in, or maybe he can't. I hope he didn't come in and go and see that his drill rig is missing in action and think something, like none of us touched it. But,
no, he wouldn't think that. He knows.
okay.
He knows better. I mean, especially because we've told them, time and time again. It's like, dude, who do you think here is messing with you? Everyone here, is glad that you're here. You know.
Inventory full.
Wow, this top of this mountain a little further back turns into like a brownish rock. Like there's no grass up here. So that's where Jeff is kind of every time. I mean, again, I'm glad you guys are here. I don't want to say anything to badmouth the guy because we don't hate to lose you guys, but like that to me is like that's a disappointment or a failure on my part because I mean the guy asked for something, we delivered exactly what he wanted, and then it's like, nah, this forget it, and it's like we're just like we're not hitting whatever it is we need to do so that he wants to be here.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing that really bugs me or makes me wonder is, I mean, he's always complaining, I want more of a challenge. I want more of a challenge. And then every time we go somewhere, he's making the game as easy as he can get it. Like on that other server, he had the server guy go in and turn off the weather, turned off all kinds of other stuff that would have made the game a little. We didn't have any wolves, we didn't have any spiders, we didn't have, we had the largest storage containers, well, a 10x or whatever it is. And then he said, well, this, when he left here, and then we brought him back in, and he decided, well, this isn't my base anymore. We said, well, let's go and try Pertam out. And Pertam, connection problem. Oh, it's the restart. Never mind. I'll be back.
Yes.
So the servers are restarting, so we're here just to listen and be entertained.
Wrong place for that.
Why? You guys aren't doing anything entertaining?
I'm running around picking up raspberries. That sound exciting enough?
Raspberries?
I'm planted well over 300 plants.
Yeah, we need raspberries for healing potions.
And what's your ratio of raspberry to potion?
10 raspberries for the potions. But they only grow in the meadow, so I'm running around on the starter continent. I haven't been in weeks. Currently up to 78 raspberries.
I take it you need hundreds.
I'm shooting for 100, but
No, I mean hundreds. Like if you do it now, you'll be good for a while. If you ration it properly.
Well, we're trying to stock up for the fourth fight. I want to do the fourth battle this weekend.
Well, I told you that already, and you're be fully justified for you to go out and, want to inventory everybody's screen, make sure they know what they're doing to, make it a no-kill. Especially if you're doing all this work for the potions and shit.
I've also learned that the more people participating, the harder the boss is. So.
Yeah, but you got to walk me through it. It's just.
I don't have to do anything.
Well, I mean, you couldn't imagine living with yourself if you didn't. I mean, I know. I understand. I get it. I do.
I'd get it fast.
It would pang you all night.
I mean, I'm almost over it already. Oh, wait, I'm over it.
back.
Yeah, he's down. We're down here chatting with them guys.
Oh,
Scotty, can you?
Huh?
Nice.
Scotty's out picking out raspberries.
Oh, good. As long as
Over
you
here at
have
night.
good-
I'm over here at Knight's compound. I'm going to
What are you
go back.
doing?
I'm stealing your. I'm using your portal. Where's your portal back to the plains?
Where I am at. But were you hacking something or what?
There was a skeleton. There's like 3 or 4 skeletons out front there.
Oh, okay. I heard the woodwhacking or hacking. So I don't.
Yeah, beating up your gate. Is that all right?
Hey, throw us back in the other channel, man.
Jeez.
I appreciate it. I just, I
Do
just
you?
know. I know you just wanted to touch my name. It's
Do you
it's
appreciate the
it's like the virtual holding hands. He could have been funny and put us in different channels, but no. See.
Oh,
No. I understand you've said that before, but I take it as like we're missing something here because, like I don't know what else to get the guy. It was. Because he asked for a certain list of stuff, and like we gave him everything he thought he asked. I don't. Even with the Pertam thing.
Well,
Again, you can't please everybody all the time, but
it's true. But, there's people that'll tell you what they want, and it isn't what they want. They want something else, but,
well, they may not know what they want. Well, it's like that count I did of the 200 plus people that have been on here just on Alpha 1 that have tried it out and walked away. That to me is just, it's just insane. Because that's a lot of people.
yep.
But that's the problem with the casual gamer. They want the game on the harder difficulty settings, like the weather. Like you were just talking about the weather here. I mean, half of the problems we have here because of the weather. I mean,
Yeah, those sandstorms, man.
I was going to say, the two of us almost died, building that little base thing, and I had to go in. We had to kill each other to go get credits to be able to go inside. I used all those credits the second time just to buy those med kits, just to keep us alive in that building. I mean, it's like, why would, see, that to me, like, just on that, I would be like, oh, we need those weather things. You got a harder setting too? Like, let me try the harder setting, and then if it fails, then I'll come back to you. But yeah, I wouldn't be. Yeah, don't give me any weather. But hey, it's your game. You play it your way. I mean, that's the. Otherwise, it wouldn't be your game. But I don't think. I mean, even if the Satisfactory server came out, I don't think we could. He would like what we set up.
That.
Because again, it wouldn't be ideal bandwidth for him. And, as soon as he wasn't online, other people would be doing stuff. I have to tell you, I was thrilled to walk into, if you hadn't even told me about it, the power button thing. I mean, heck, it was you and John put up that third tier on the windmill thing. I went the whole day the next day, never even saw it. And I was like, hey, look at that. Oh man, that is awesome. Like, how could that be? I don't know.
Hmm.
I mean, that's
Gotta make some adjustments when things aren't working. So
yeah, but that to me is part of the fun of it. It would be even more fun to me if it would be just as much fun if you had torn down all the windmills and said, you know, we didn't think the windmills were working right, so we tore them all down. We want to see if it'll be better without them up. Like, how?
yeah,
How? Look, I don't want to knock what you did. I just want to know, how did you think it was going to be better? Because this is hysterical. Because we got to go rebuild all those towers. And I don't even like the way they look.
I know you said so.
But it's like, but I'd be the first one putting them back up. Like, you know, and I don't know why I like the farm spread out more than the ones all standing up. I think it's because I just don't like the horizontal of them. Like, that to me seems like that's not how the wind works. You know?
Yeah.
Which is very asinine way of thinking, because the wind, the wind, you know, hey little Gretchen, the wind doesn't care which way your windmill is sitting here. You know, it just works. But do you still have your welder ship over here somewhere?
Yeah, it's parked on the landing deck.
Oh, it's the red thing, or coral colored salmon.
Yeah, salmon, orangish, dreamsicle, orange.
Let me see if this thing has batteries.
It should be. I mean, it was on charge, so it shouldn't be discharged.
Well, I should go into the battery room and see what the batteries look like. Because, by the way, this shuttle sitting over here,
Yeah.
this thing is wide.
The one that just got built.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And the thing is, it's just two cockpits. It's not actually that big. But just like with the glass and the whole look of it. She like painted all black or something, like a limo, like a glossy black.
That'll work. What the heck?
Yeah. Okay, all the batteries are at 2.
So we're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, so let me see if I can.
Oh, why don't you turn? You know what? Let's turn on the lights at the control tower and let's see what that does.
No.
No.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to mess with that. I'm gonna see if I can get hey, I just noticed your connector goes directly into a medium cargo container. Or no, that's a conveyor junction. I thought it was going into it. Is this a cargo? No, it's a conveyor junction. And then you got, oh, you have a row of mediums in here. Yeah, I'm wondering if I could fill them up.
Yeah, I think there's 4 mediums altogether. Figured, you know what? Let's make it so we can put some plates on there. I mean, that thing's heavy when it's full of steel plate. Oh.
Okay, solar. Okay. Engines are on. Batteries are on auto. We are unlocked. And we are in the air.
Okay.
Got 40 minutes of power. Okay, welders are on. You know, if you didn't have a big project, you wouldn't have a welding ship.
Nope.
I mean,
Well, I'm thinking about. I've got that on this base on the moon here. I've got a grinder ship. Well, it's been we've been using it here and there to do little jobs because the grinder pit's been carrying the weight for a long time now. So I'm thinking about, since we're modifying the area in and around the grinder pit, I was thinking, well, maybe I'll just take and convert that over to a welder ship, because we've got all of those grids that, I mean, it looks cool with the grid pattern around the the outer edges of the grinder pit.
mhm.
But I think we want to fill it in because we're trying to move our storage down underneath the grinder pit so that it's protected, because right now it's all just hanging out there in the breeze. And I think we've got the room down there. John's done a little bit of ciphering and figures that we've got room for at least as many storage containers as we've got now, if not a bunch more. So well, I'm getting the word that it's just about time for dinner. So
Well, you bon appetit.
thank you. I'm gonna go
By the way,
have
the name of your welders on Wendy here is called Drill Wall Welders.
it is.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I wonder if one of us did something with the welders and changed the name of your...
That's possible, but just
Well, let me fix it. So it's apparently Wendy Welders.
Yep, because she's Wendy the welder. All right, I will be back in a little while.
Bon appetit.
Talk to you then.
A water break. Is that a water break time? No, it's an everything break time. Touch your toes. Time to touch your toes, huh? Alright. Let me go do a toe touch. Because it's been long enough. she's locked. All right. Hydration break. Water drink. Stretch, touch your toes, hygiene. Yeah, I got you. All right. I think it's easier. Let me just take up the comps and some girders. Okay, so the only thing we need there is solar cells. Solar cells. Solar cells. Solar cells and comps. Okay. I think we're pulling something else. Maybe it's just a true rotor. Posture check. Remember to sit up straight. Water check. Well, I'm drinking milk, but I'm gonna wait out the sun. It's kind of foolish to wait out the sun because it's gonna come up anyway and we can go do something else. Yeah, but what are we gonna do? We're gonna find that 95% solar panel.
Okay, hello.
Hey, welcome back.
Thank you. Sounds like you're having a little snack or something.
I'm cleaning up the solar panels. I missed one.
Uh-oh.
There's one out here, but 95% completion on it.
Hmm. Alrighty.
And they're in the group. Just waiting for the sun to come up.
If they scan around, huh?
Yeah.
I scan around, scan around, I scan.
Oh, here's one that was completely defunct.
Hmm.
That is interesting. Apparently we got some damage out here.
On the existing one? Or
Yeah,
on
on the existing one.
Hmm.
I gotta come out with some parts for it. I just put it in the queue.
How that happened? A meteor shower?
Here's a couple out here that still need bulletproof glass. apparently some of these didn't get. I mean, they've been functional.
Mm-hmm. But they weren't 100% complete.
Yeah. Could have been lightning. Two. Well, the worst of them is back up online. But again, one being down wouldn't have killed. Well, that's a huge uptick in the amount of the panels.
Yeah.
You know, we've gone from 48 to
98 or 88.
yeah, from 48 to 88. But the batteries are at 1 green block right now. Granted, that's a lot of batteries to charge up,
Yep.
but still, that's the point. They should be. Should be charging up. I'm wondering what's next on the to-do list out here.
I took your suggestion. I'm having a glass of wine.
How, oh, from the water and wine?
Yeah. Or, it's saying my wife was having some, and there was a bottle open, so I just maybe I'll have some of that with dinner. So that's what I'm having.
Did you catch any of that?
No.
I said, you know, I'm glad to be part of making you into an alcoholic.
Oh, don't worry about that. I'm not even close to being one of those.
And then
Hey, no,
I said, I'm sorry, go ahead, sorry, I interrupted. You said only an occasional.
yeah, an occasional drink, you know.
So the comment that I made was, you know, I was used to get a kick out of those people that would say that drinking would make you into an alcoholic, because, I mean, I would look at them and go, if you think the amount that I'm drinking is going to make me an alcoholic, I mean, you're right, but
Well, you're right, but
doesn't mean you should say it. Yeah, stand here on this base and it's like, man, we need to put more lights all around here. After, of course, we solve the current power problems and can keep the current lights on.
yeah,
There
you
is a,
gotta pay the bill. You want to keep the lights on? Pay the damn electric bill.
so this projector, or not projector, but rotor that you built next to the shipyard projector,
Yes.
like, is that supposed to make something, or is that just a temporary thing? Like, should we make a spot for it? Like what?
Well, I'd like to build on a rotor, or you know, because when you build your batteries, since the electricity will pass through the rotor, it charges the ship up so that you don't have, you know, if you build on other stuff and you build batteries, you know, you get that initial one green light or whatever it is, 20 or 30%. But if you build on a rotor, then you can have a ship that when you're done with it, the batteries are 100% charged. But I mean, it doesn't have to stay there. That was kind of a temporary setup so that I could build the welding ship.
I'm just wondering, like, should we make like a spot for it? You know, like walls or anything, or lights?
Could. I mean, but if you put walls around it, then it's you're building the ship inside, and you can end up with you know space constraints because
Yep. No, I hear you. No, I got you.
whatever the final build out on whatever is generally not the size that you envision it to begin with.
Well, I asked because there's a constructor, there's a connector sitting out here on it.
Oh
Like
yeah,
it looks like you were building something with a connector.
I only put that up there so that I could land one of the ships on top of it to charge it up. Normally the boom would go up and then out, but because the ship that I needed to land on there had a bottom connector, I just cut the outward part of the boom off and made the crisscross so I could attach the connector up there.
I've seen some interesting garages that people have built in this game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, you have to, you know, put a little bit of, you know, dispensing with reality out of it, but then you see a couple ships that they build parked in them, and it's like, oh wow, look at that, they made it, you know, like a nice, like a healthy size of space.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Energy low.
So keeping with your Operation Hey Kid, shut that light out. I I set a switch in the shipyard cockpit
Mm-hmm.
that turns all the lights in the shipyard on or off.
Oh, cool.
But that just makes the base look darker.
Well, it does. And I mean, eventually we'll get to the point where we can leave all the lights on all the time. But for right now,
That's what my dad said. He was just going out for a smoke. He'll be back sometime later. Never saw him for 19 minutes.
well, at least it's not 19 years.
Yeah, that's what the people that rejected my story at Netflix said. '88 solar powers, efficiency 0, output 0. Time at your location 2:22, dawn and 11 minutes. So the batteries are taking in 5.7 megawatts and they're outputting 11 megawatts. Four wind turbines. Yeah, the moon base will be different because it'll have to be pressurized. We'll have those fun double doors all over the place.
Yeah.
Then you get to do things like, we really should put a put a tank here on the outside, so we don't have to go in and out. All right, power grid. Engine 0, solar 0, turbines, batteries. 9 in, 18 out. the second game we set up. I did like a 6-hour day-night cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that pissed those guys off. Because they needed that sun to come up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me. All right, we almost have. It's interesting what this thing wants us to make more of.
What's it telling us we need now?
Well, it's
A little bit of everything.
140,000 plates. That'll burn up 1.4 million iron. 7,000 more metal grids. 15,000 small tubes. It's suggesting 5,000 more motors. Those we do use though. And we seem to run out of those. Wait, so are the assemblers turned off or just the efficiency speed modules?
There's a separate switch for the speed modules, and there's a separate switch for the assemblers. So if you want the assemblers and the modules, you got to turn on switch number 1 and switch number 4, I think. I did not separate the I suppose I should have grouped them together where the modules and the equipment itself was turned off together. But I thought if I just turned off the equipment that the mods would go off too, but it doesn't work that way.
Well, I mean, you could have done it in one of these chairs over here. And then you'd have the status indicator of whether everything was on or off from the build vision. Or you could put the details on the panels over here so that we know how many refineries are currently on or off. Because right now, if I walk up to the panel and I press the on-off button, I don't know if I'm turning it on or off.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a great idea. We just gotta,
Perfect it a little bit.
yeah.
It was kind of thrown together last minute. I figured, well, we need to do something to save a little bit more power on base, and since we had mentioned that the mods were what was probably eating up most of the power, I figured, well, let's turn those off and let's turn off the equipment too.
Well, I'm just wondering how much these mods consume. Because I think they're not the consumer. They change the consumption of the. Touch your toes check.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, like this assembler takes 2 megawatts of power.
And that's just the assembler. That's not the mods that are on it, right?
No, that's the assembler plus the mods.
Oh,
2.2 megawatts. Like there's an assembler that has more power efficiencies on it, so its required input is 2.8 megawatts. Because I didn't rebuild, when I rebuilt the whole room, I didn't know that you could put those on that double slot like that. So some of them have 3 and some of them have 4. Come on already with the damn sunlight. All right, here comes the start of the sun. Yeah, the bad part of this is it didn't encourage everybody to learn a language and learn how to program the panels yourself. You know, it just became here, just plug this script in. But again, I mean, unless you're playing this video game and wanting to also learn how to program.
Yeah, that's true.
It's raining again. I mean, holy crap. I think this is what's killing our power. We live in San Diego. Or San Francisco. Somewhere. Or Seattle. One of those, you know. It should be bright and sunny. It's foggy. It's a beautiful day today. It's raining. this is enough freaking sunlight. Start spinning these damn towers. Okay, the rain stopped. The sun is definitely out. And the arm is moving.
All right.
Holy cow, that was brutal.
The wait?
Yeah.
Come on. Work, you son of a biscuit.
Now, just to make sure they don't smack into each other. They can't, but still. Yes. Okay, this panel's producing just under 70 kilowatts. Oh, that'll make a world of nothing. All right. Solar panels are now bringing in 10.5 megawatts, more than the wind turbines. So if the wind turbines keep us alive overnight, the solar panels will recharge the batteries. Okay, fully recharged in 3 hours. The sun's only going to be up for 44 minutes. Yeah. Okay, this is... Pardon me.
Sure.
Oh, we never saw that thing about whether or not to put one big battery or small batteries on the shuttle.
It's true.
Still only got one battery. This medium cargo container that's on the new shuttle,
Yeah.
it can't even carry the parts to make one beacon.
Because it overweights the ship, or
No, it overfills it with volume.
oh,
So that's a pretty big design issue right there. It's going to make it hard to build a small base when we can't even carry out the beacon. Because to carry out the parts, Let's stick another container on the cop.
Okay, 5 process.
Inventory full.
Okay, enough parts to make a beacon. See if I can fit a wind turbine in here.
Okay.
I would think so. Alright, some conveyor tubes. Okay, I got a beacon, batteries, battery, beacon, battery. Beacon, battery, wind terminal. Connector, Some steel plates. I think that's everything. It's interesting how you can walk up to a... So I'll put the second battery on the shuttle. So that one's charging now. Alright, I'll go refill my cup. Be right back.
Okay.
Okay. So the battery fits in front of the other battery, but then you
Okay.
can't get through the door.
Hmm.
So I mounted it behind the other battery. Now I just gotta let it charge up. So it says it'll take about 3 hours.
Hmm.
Let's see how the base is doing. The batteries say they'll be fully charged in 2 hours inside. Alright, well, I'm not sure what to do next because I don't want to do anything until the batteries are squared away. And that's going to take at least 2 hours. I'd like to get the welding pit done.